Alright, so the pink sheet is actually super helpful. Basically what this sheet does, yes, what do we need? Just an extra? Yes, ma'am? What do you need? White sheet or pink? Or both? Pass that back. The car's. Okay, I have made this pink sheet because it takes every important part of lesson 2, 4, and 6 and it puts it in the same spot. So when you're going over some of your assignments or we're studying for our test next week, everything's in one spot. Okay? Because there's going to be a lot of different scenarios and it's easy to get them confused. So on the front page of the pink sheet, I want you to write, right here in this column, what's happening. We're going to talk about what is happening in this scenario. What's happening? Okay, and then in the next column, I want you to write formula. Because they all have specific formulas. Okay, guys, this first one is one that we talked about yesterday. It's in the very middle of your circle, and both of its sides are radii. This is called a central angle. So what's happening is that there's a central angle in the middle of our circle. Okay, let me say that this angle 1 is 50 degrees. What is the arc? If this is 50, what's the arc? 50. It's just the same, right? So right here in formula, let's put whatever the measure of angle 1 is, it's equal to the measure of this arc. How do I name this arc? Arc AB. So if it's in the middle, they're the same thing. This is important because it changes depending on where the angle is. So if it's in the middle, exact same. Don't do anything. Okay? If you look at your notes, there's 4 different things that's going to happen today. So you can see there's a box on the front. You see the box on the front? And then on the bottom, 3rd one's here, 4th one's here. So there's 4 different scenarios that we're going to talk about. And it's not going to be hard. It's not necessarily hard. It's just a lot being thrown at you. Okay? But y'all can handle it because 3rd period did it, and I only had to call the ambulance once. Yep, Michael Petlow was crying. Okay, the difference in this scenario and the scenario we just talked about on the pink sheet is look where the angle is. Look in this example. Do you see where the angle is? It's on the back side of the circle. Where was it in the one we were just talking about? On the middle, right? So when the angle goes all the way to the back side of the circle, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Here's what happens. Look at example 1. It says the measure of angle X. That's what you want to find. So this angle right here is what you want to find. Here's the quote-unquote formula. If you know the arc is 86, so the arc that goes with that angle is 86 degrees. How you find the angle is you just divide it by 2. So if the arc is 86, then the angle is going to be half of the arc. Okay, so to find the measure of angle X, you take what the arc is, you take the arc, and divide by 2. Well, what's the arc? The arc is 86, you're one step ahead of me. Divide by 2, and you find that the measure of angle X is going to be 43. So if you have the arc, divided by 2 to get the angle. But, this isn't part of the question, but just for practice, if you have the angle, which is 52, what do you think this arc is? If we divided to get the angle, what do you think we do when we have the angle and want the arc? Multiply it by 2. Okay, so let's go to our pink sheet and let's write down what we just did. This is called an inscribed angle. Inscribed angle. Which one is always going to be bigger, the arc or the angle? the arc. The arc is always going to be bigger. So if you want to write some hints, let's write arc has to be the biggest, or has to be bigger. Arc is bigger than angle. That'll help you remember which one's which. Arc is bigger than the angle. Okay, if I want the arc, let's say we want the arc. Arc equals, if I want to find this arc, I have to do what to the angle? Angle times 2. If I want the angle, and I'm given the arc, if I want this, and I have the arc, I have to divide the arc by 2. So one you're multiplying and one you're dividing. Okay, let's go back to number 2 and 3 and practice. I want you to find the measure of arc yx. That's right here. What do you have? You can try it in just a minute. You have the angle. So if I have the angle and I want the arc, what do? Multiply by 2. So what is your angle? Your angle is 52. So the measure of arc yx is 52 times 2, which is 104 degrees. Try 3 on your own. I want the angle. What do I have? The arc. So Will, if I have the angle, I want the angle, I have the arc. Will, the arc is 94. What do I do to find the angle? Divide it by 2. Good. So 94 divided by 2. So the answer is 47 degrees. Good job. What if I wanted to find arc BC? Just for example, if I wanted to find this arc, what would I do? Multiply 48 by 2, right? Okay, let's go on to the next scenario. Scenario number 2. We still have inscribed angles, but we don't have just one. Look up here. We have 2. So what's happening, look at your pink sheet. What's happening in this example is that you don't have just one inscribed angle, you have 2 inscribed angles. Here's what happens when you have 2 inscribed angles. Write a number 1 right here, and then write a number 2 right here. We're just naming those angles. So we have 4 angles. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Angle 1 is going to be equal to angle 2. So whatever this angle is right here, it's the same as this angle. Okay, because they're in opposite triangles and they're on the same side. Opposite triangles, same side. 1 and 2 are congruent. And what do you think about 3 and 4? They're also congruent, right. So 3 is going to be the same as 4. Okay, so let's do an example. Number 4, it says to find the measure of angle R. Well, a huge hint, just being real with you, a huge hint to remind you that they're equal is if you only have 2 angles and they both have the same variable in it, right? Because I can't set anything equal to T because there's nothing there, or Q. So angle S is congruent to what angle? R. So if I want to solve for X and they are the same thing, I just set them equal. Right. I know it. Okay, let's see if we remember how to solve equations. It's been a hot minute. What would you do first? Subtract the x, which is 9. 9x, good. So you have 3x minus 13 equals 2. How do I get 13 to the other side? Good. So it's going to be 3x equals what? 15. And x is going to be equal to 5. Am I done? No. It doesn't say solve for x. It says solve for the measure of angle r. So to be completely done, go back to angle r and plug in 5. So what should we write? 12 times what? Minus. Can y'all see this color back there? 47? So it's not necessarily hard, right? It's just different scenarios. Can you try the next one for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Number 5. Yes. No, that's not my question. London, number 5, please. Days. Summer. Maybe weeks. No, it's probably longer than that. Yes, first. Right there. 12, 13. So if it says find angle I, plug that 5 back in here. All right, what'd you get for x?
5.
I think you should have gotten 5. Hey, can we wait for just a minute? Thank you. Subtract your 8, you get 2. Add your 1, you get 10. So x was equal to 5. Okay, but what angle do I have to plug it back into? I, the measure of angle I. So I'm going to have 8 times 5 plus 9, which was equal to? Good. Okay, to the back. To the back. What do you see inside this circle? A triangle. Okay, you see a triangle inside the circle. Now, an important property about this circle and this triangle. Listen, please. This triangle has 3 sides. That's what makes it a triangle. FH is important. FH is not just the side of the triangle. It's also the diameter. Okay, and is that going to be the longest side possible? Yes? Because, I mean, that's straight down the middle. Anywhere you go other than that, it's going to be shorter than the diameter. So one thing that you always need to remember about this triangle, since this is the diameter and it's the largest side, this angle across from it is going to be the largest angle, and this angle is always going to be 90 degrees. AKA, your diameter is the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse. Okay? Okay, so on your pink sheet, let's go fill in some important information. What's going on? What's happening? There is a triangle inside the circle. Triangle inscribed in circle. What kind of triangle? Right. It's a right triangle. In this case, which angle is going to be the 90-degree angle? Angle 5. So put angle 5 equals 90 degrees. How many degrees are in a triangle? The whole triangle. You might want to write yourself a little note on here. The whole triangle equals 180 degrees. Okay, I'm going to try to cut a step off this problem for you. Is everybody done with the pink sheet? Okay, you're not. Sorry. Whole triangle equals 180. Okay, look at example number 6. There it is. Which angle is 90 degrees? Does everybody see why? Because it's across from the longest side. So C is automatically 90 degrees. How many degrees are in this triangle? Listen to me. A lot of y'all are going to not listen to what I'm saying, and I'm making it a little bit easier. If there's 180 degrees in a triangle, and we know 90 is taken, how many degrees are left? 90. So is it a true statement that angle B and angle A have to equal 90? So why don't we just go ahead and cut 90 out and just set A and B equal to 90 instead of 180? It'll make it a little bit easier, right? Less stuff we have to work with. So if we want to solve for x and we know 90 degrees is taken, x plus 4 plus what? 8x minus 4 has to equal 90. Now be careful right here, because when you're combining your like terms, don't try to subtract it from each other. They're on the same side of the equal sign. So we can combine x and 8x, which makes 9x. And 4 minus 4 is, so 9x equals 90, so x equals 10. Are we done? What angle are we finding? B. The measure of angle B. So, Carson Burks, tell me what to write. What angle B? Remember what we talked about earlier? You asked where I got 12 from? Good. 8 times 10 minus 4. 80 minus 4 equals what? 76. You try 7. See how this is going?
Yeah.
Show you one, you do one. Because we don't need to do a lot of these. It's the same thing over and over. Do the same thing. If y'all are taking good notes on your pink sheet. Don't set them equal. They don't equal each other. They equal what? You're not going to have enough time to get in there. I'm not trying to kill your training now, but I am. It's at least 1 point. There it goes. Yeah. Do you get some water?
Yeah, I have some.
Aubrey, since you're so done and ready for a nap, tell me what to write to solve for x.
The whole equation?
Yeah.
4x plus 2 plus 9x minus 3 plus 9b.
Good. Okay, that's good. Equals 90. Now, if you wanted to do all of those plus 90 equals 180, would it still work?
Yeah.
It'd still work. I'm just trying to make it easier, right? Work smarter, not harder. Okay? So, 4x plus 9x is 13x. 2 minus 3, negative 1 equals 90. Add 1, 13x equals 91. I don't know what that equals.
7.
Thank you. Okay? That's just x. We need to find the measure of angle F. So, Braden, you look kind of bored right now. Tell me what to write.
4 times 7 plus 2.
Good. What did that equal? Good. One more scenario. Ready? Okay. So no longer is a triangle inside a circle. What's inside the circle? A quadrilateral is inside the circle. So go to your pink sheet. To the pink sheet. Quadrilateral. Inscribed. Do you know what inscribed means? It's like inside. Quadrilateral inscribed in the circle. You just butchered that word.
You wrote it there and I still spelled it wrong.
How many degrees is inside a whole quadrilateral?
360.
So let's put quad always equals 360 degrees. Always equals 360. Okay, the thing that's important about this one, there are certain things that are important about all of these. Opposite angles are not equal. Opposite angles equal 180 degrees together. So they're not equal. Do not set them equal. They equal 180 together. So what angle do I need to add with 7?
9.
Right. So angle 7 plus angle 9 equal how many degrees? 180. What other pair can I write down? Angle 6 plus angle 8 equal 180 degrees. Opposite angles. Add together to equal 180. So whatever's opposite of 7.
So does that mean the 6 and 7 up there would equal 180?
No, because they're... no, it'll change. If it's a square or a rectangle, then yes. Okay? All right, number 8. Find the measure of angle A and D. One of these is super easy. Find A and find D. Well, A has to go with what angle? What's opposite?
C.
C. And together they have to make how many degrees? And what's C? So what's A? Right. Let me say that again for some people that might not have followed. Opposite angles equal 180 degrees. C was already 90 because of that box. 180 minus 90 means that A has to be 90. Okay, but it's not always that easy. For example, B is 2x minus 30 and D is x. Those two have to be added together, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to take angle B, add it to angle D, and set it equal to 180 degrees. So what is angle B called? What's inside angle B? 2x minus 30. What's angle D? Plus x equals 180. Combine your like terms. If they're on the same side of the equal sign, don't change the sign. So 2x plus x is 3x. Go ahead and bring down your negative 30 equals 180. What do I do now? Add 30. And then? Divide by 3. So x is going to be equal to? Am I done?
No.
Got to plug it back in. Well, thankfully, the measure of angle D is just x, right? So technically we are done because we solved for x and D is x. So 70 is the answer. 90 is A, 70 is D. Okay, now I'm going to let you do 9, but there's some parts that we need to walk through together. So what angles can I add together and set equal to 180? J and G. I can't start off using K because why? Because I don't know what H is, right? So good job. Y'all caught on to that a lot quicker than my other class. So J plus G equals 180. Start with that. 6B plus 20 plus 3B plus 25 equals what? 180. See how pleasant of a day we can have when everyone is participating? And not having to constantly ask people to get on task. Yes, Aubrey?
So H would just use the D.
No. I'm going to help you get there. Okay? Okay, 6 plus 3? 20 plus 25? Bring down your 180. Subtract 45. 135. Divide by 9. What is it? Okay. So B is equal to 15. The instructions say to find the measure of each angle. Find every single angle. So, measure of angle K, find angle J, find angle G, and find angle H. Well, for K, G, and J, y'all need to plug B back in, and that'll tell you what the angle is. So plug 15 back in for B on J, K, and G. Go. Take 15 and plug it back in for B for all three of these, and you'll find that angle. Peyton, did you get one? What'd you get for K? Okay. Carson Brown, what'd you get for J? Huh? Okay. Parker, did you get G yet? London, did you get G? What'd you get? 70? Do we agree on these three?
Yes.
Okay. Now, yes. What'd you get? And how?
99.
How?
Because the opposite angles are supposed to be added up to 180, so K plus H equals 180, so you just subtract 81 from 180 and get 99.
Y'all following him? Okay, let me say exactly what he said. Y'all are just used to me saying it loudly. K and H have to equal what?
180.
Well, we know K is 81, so 180 minus 81 tells you H. Okay, and what was it, 91?
I got 99.
99. Is that 180? Yeah? Okay. Okay, that's it for this lesson. Now, tell me, be honest. Was that necessarily hard? No, it's not necessarily hard. There's just a lot of scenarios going on. So, of course, we're going to practice. I mean, I don't know what y'all thought we were going to do the next 12 minutes, but Aubrey thought he was going to get a nap. Okay, if you listen, I'm almost done. If you did not finish 10.2 yesterday, y'all know how you turn it in after your quiz? If you didn't finish it and you need to turn it in today, we are going to do all of these. Yes.
Easy.
But I want to talk you through a couple of them. No. They're not difficult. It's just different. Okay, look at 3 with me, please. 3. You know that this angle is 26 degrees. So what is the arc JL?
52.
Because we just double it, right? So if you know this angle is 26, then you found JL to be 52. Because 26 times 2. But is that what I was asked to find? We were asked to find J to K. But what does this line down the middle mean? It's the diameter, which means that all of this half is going to equal how many degrees? 180. So if you need to find this piece, and you know this is 52, can you find it now? It's half. Half of the circle. Half of a circle is 180, and you just told me this was?
So 180 minus.
Okay, one more I'm going to walk you through. Number 4. I want to find this angle. But before I can find this angle, I need this arc. How can I find this arc? Yeah. 360 minus those 2 numbers. Okay? Because there's only 3 arcs in this circle, and I need to find 1. There's already 2 that are found. So 360 minus these 2 will give you this arc. Then how do I find that angle? Good. Divided by 2. Remember the arc. When you have the arc, to get the angle, you divide by 2.